What's up, Bench Miner, and welcome to episode number 46 of the Bench Miner Hockey Video Podcast. This episode is sponsored by SK Cards. It is an independent trading card manufacturer right here in the United States. Releasing next month is their second edition of the Fed trading cards, with over 30 players, refs, even a general manager included in this upcoming set. You can pre-order 3 different boxes, including $5 retail packs, hobby boxes, guaranteed autographed card, and a complete base set. Visit SK Cards on social media. Contact them today to place your order before they sell out. And don't forget to use our code BenchMiner at checkout to support the show. And with me today, our first PWHL guest, Alyssa Regalado. Thanks so much for coming on.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I'm excited for this.
So am I. We were just talking off the air a little bit, and I was just, well, everyone here knows, but I'm a big advocate for women in pro sports, especially hockey. Obviously, it's a plus. So I love having female guests on. I think it makes it more interesting. But before we really get started, I kind of want to give you the floor. Tell us a little bit about yourself and kind of how your hockey journey began.
Yeah, so I'm from Mississauga, Ontario, which is a growing city, just about half an hour outside of Toronto. I grew up playing hockey, obviously, in the GTA. Started in Mississauga, played 2 years, played 2 years of competitive hockey, and then decided to head over to the Etobicoke Dolphins, which is where I played almost, I want to say like 10 years there. So I played most of my minor hockey career there, which actually turns out to be the main practice facility for the Toronto Sceptres. So it's almost like a full circle moment. But yeah, I played there for most of my hockey career from U10 all the way up till junior hockey, right before I headed to Cornell. Obviously, hockey is a big sport in Canada and Ontario. So it's something that I think my parents were familiar with and something that was kind of grown within the population. So that's just what I kind of started skating from a very young age, and eventually got a stick in my hand, and the rest is history. But yeah, I feel like hockey is just something, since I was young, it's been around me forever. And yeah.
Is it true that when Canadians are born, they're sent home with a hockey stick?
Maybe, but my dad was watching the World Juniors on the day I was born. So, I mean, guess it makes sense.
Guess so. So that's awesome. And we'll talk a little bit more about that. Sorry if I mispronounce it. I have a speech impediment and I can't ever say the dang word, but Mississauga, where you're from,
Yep.
It seems to be like a hotbed for hockey. Like notably, like talent-wise, NHL players. Just to kind of name a few, I wrote them down so I didn't forget. But Jason Spezza, Nick Paul, John Tavares, Ryan and Dylan Strome, Owen Power. Why do you think that there's so much talent coming from this pocket of Canada?
I feel like Toronto is obviously a really big hub for hockey, and I feel like things can get really competitive when it comes to like downtown Toronto and like the city of Toronto. I feel like this was almost the next closest city, so I feel like this was almost people's probably escape to try to build new hockey programs within a drive to the city, but it's not going to attract everyone that's like right downtown. So probably started kind of a new population of people. It's funny you say Owen Power, though. I actually went to elementary school with him. And when he was in the 8th grade, I was in 6th grade, and we got to play school hockey together. And he actually gave me the MVP after one game. But yeah, that was definitely a highlight. Obviously, he was in the 8th grade at the time. So what is he, like 13? And to see him kind of go first overall and is now an NHL star, it's pretty crazy.
Oh, that is pretty cool. Any other like connections to NHL players that some of our fans might know or?
Not like direct. My dad's childhood best friend coaches an OHL team here in Ontario, and so I've met a lot of players from the Peterborough Petes. Nick Robertson, who played for the Toronto Maple Leafs, I've gotten the opportunity to skate with him a couple times. But other than that, nothing like direct. Just more so like sometimes I get the chance to skate with a pretty cool guy. But yeah.
Awesome. Love hearing that. I know you said you started when you were young. How young were you when you first started playing?
I think I probably started skating around the age of 3. Hockey probably between 4 and 5.
Okay.
Like I said, it kind of started in Mississauga. So I guess once the skating classes ended, it was kind of hockey was next. So I guess it depended on how long I accelerated at skating for.
It's funny that you say that because I just made a joke with my wife the other day saying, we got to get Oki into that. And she's like, she's 3. And I was like, somewhere there's 3-year-olds training hard right now.
I mean, you always got to start somewhere, right?
Right. That's fantastic. So like outside of hockey, what are some of your passions or some of your hobbies?
Yeah, I think being at Cornell for the last 4 years, it's kind of really ventured me out to different things. I always was kind of into camping. My family would do some camping trips, but every year our team would do like a small camping trip together. So really enjoyed that and kind of the bonding over the campfire and all that kind of stuff. Um, I like kind of helping with the community and like younger girls. I have a younger sister, and so when she was kind of growing up through the system, I like to skate with them at practices and stuff. So obviously, anything sports I'm in, whether
Right.
that's volunteering, coaching, even just watching. I love being involved. And then the odd time, I'm not a big baker and a cooker. I wouldn't say I'm like the best, but I do like doing it. I do like just kind of putting things together and planning some stuff out. So that's what I like to do.
That's awesome. When you had mentioned going camping with your teammates, is that something that's kind of like organized by the school or just you guys as a friend group?
I think it's actually through our team, and I think I guess 1 year, probably 15 years ago, someone decided that hey, like let's do some team bonding, and they came up with camping. So each year, my 4 years, we did like a little weekend camping trip, just locally. Obviously,
Hmm.
Ithaca's in a very foresty lake area, so there's obviously ample opportunity to be outdoors around there. So I think it's just something that they've developed as like a team tradition before the season starts, before it starts getting really cold and snowy.
Right.
But yeah,
No, it's just kind of funny. Like you think hockey, wintertime, New York, you don't really think about camping, but
yeah,
it's big in upstate New York in the summertime. It's big. So,
yeah,
um,
definitely. Even in August in Ithaca, it's still pretty hot outside. So,
hmm and then it changes quickly, doesn't it?
oh yes, it almost skips a season.
Yeah, it almost seems like there's not really much spring or fall in upstate New York sometimes. It's just kind of
No, it usually goes
summer
snow
to
and then
winter, winter to
really
summer.
hot. Yeah, and then all of a sudden there's snow again.
Right. So, I mean, you're not too far away from Ithaca, but what kind of drew you to Ithaca? What made you want to go to Cornell, being from Mississauga?
Um, Yeah, I think kind of going into that recruitment process, I didn't really know where to begin. It was just kind of thrown upon me. This was before the June 15th rule came into place. So it was like the eighth grade, and I started hearing from schools about recruitment and camps and all this. And I'm like, I'm just graduating from like elementary school. I don't know what you guys are talking about. That was kind of pre COVID years, and that was when Cornell was really starting to climb the rankings and put themselves as a top ranked team. And it was kind of that COVID year where they were them and the men's program were the number one in the nation. And I think those were kind of the years that I was like, wow, like this is a really good hockey program. I think the school part kind of scared me. I won't lie. Obviously, everyone's kind of scared of the Ivy League schools, and I
Right.
thought it would kind of like deteriorate, like kind of scare me away from it a little bit. And I'm glad it didn't because it really was not that bad. But yeah, I just think obviously seeing how good the hockey program was and how it was coming to what it is today. And I went to a couple camps, really loved the rink. The campus is gorgeous. And the coaching staff was great. There was a very strong Canadian base in the coaching staff, and I felt like it was a good kind of connection that I was able to establish with them. And like you mentioned, not far from home, so my parents were able to come down almost
Hmm.
every home game every weekend.
Oh,
So I
that's
think that's
awesome.
definitely a bonus. Yeah.
So, going to an Ivy League school, it is a little bit intimidating. What did you major in while you were there?
So I started out in a major called biological sciences. Quickly realized that it was extremely science heavy. I didn't really know what I wanted to get into. I knew I liked the sciences. I was not a big literature, English kind of person, and not a fan of math. But if I had to do a course here and there in those areas, that was fine. But I didn't want that to be my main focus. And I knew I liked sciences, and so I went in my first semester as a biological science major, and I was like, oh man, I don't know if I can do all these like general chemistry, physics. I don't know if I can do this every single semester for 4 years. I ended up finding this major called biology and society, which still allowed me to take biology, which I had realized was the science I liked the most, but also apply it to more of a real life situation, like with the ethical and philosophy side of things while also like applying it to like ancient times and just more realistic things rather than just like the general physics and calculus and all this kind of stuff. So I ended up doing that. And I'm so glad I switched because I really enjoyed my major and the kind of variety it gave me. I was also able to achieve a nutrition minor just based off the variety of courses I was taking for my major. So that was pretty cool.
No, I love that for you. That's awesome. I did want to ask you this too. I don't know if you knew that. You probably do, but being Ivy League and all. But I did a little bit of research.
Okay.
And you as in your team, had a winning record all 4 years in college. Not many people get to experience that.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if I knew that.
What was a couple years, 4 years of a winning record? It's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Just to kind of go through the years, 22, 16 and 14, 23, 25 and 8, 24, 25 and 5, and then 25, 20 and 11. So some solid years put in there.
Yeah, definitely. I never looked at it in that perspective.
I got some more numbers for you too here in a minute, but just like as a team, you guys really took care of home ice as well. I did look it up. During your 4-year tenure, you lost 15 games on home ice.
Wow.
It's pretty darn good.
Yeah, that is pretty good.
15 losses on home ice over 4 years.
Yeah.
You guys really took care of home ice. Like, what's the secret?
I think if you ask a lot of people in the ECAC, playing at Lineup Rink is definitely a challenge. Especially over the 4 years, we saw our fan base grow and grow. I think the men's side saw a lot of a student base, and I think we were able to kind of grow that, especially at the end of my second year and my third year, and even this past season, we were able to grow that student fan base. And I think probably bad word choice, but it's like a toxic environment sometimes. When we hosted the regional finals, my third year, we had a record-breaking crowd of over 3,000 people, and we had a whole student section filled doing all the traditions that they would do at a men's game. And I think it kind of created this environment that really intimidated the opponents. And once you kind of get control of that game, it's very hard to flip things in our arena. At least I think so, and I've heard from other players. So I think that's definitely an advantage. Plus, our band shows up to every single game. And a lot of people say they love the band, but I think sometimes it kind of takes over. So I think it's a good thing because I'm at the point where it's like I know they're there, but I don't even think about it. I just kind of know they're there. So I think just the environment of the rink really helped us to have that record.
Love that. And just for those viewing that may not know, I mean, college hockey, men's and women's, is pretty big in upstate New York. Like she just said, 3,000 fans in attendance. That's more than some of our single A teams. You know what I mean? To put that into perspective. So that's just wild, and that's awesome that your program there is continuing to grow. There's nothing quite like playing in front of a home crowd. But where did you like traveling to? Like, what rink did you like going to play in as a visitor?
Yeah, and I'm not just saying this just because you're on the call, but I do think St. Lawrence was definitely a really cool arena to play at. They kind of have that barn style feel that Lina can sometimes give, but it's more of a modernized. I really liked the renovations that were done in that building with their screen and all their lights and everything. I think it's a really cool rink to play at, and we, as you can probably see in the numbers, we tend to struggle at that rink. I think we tied pretty much every game there, like lost in overtime. So it's definitely always a competitive game up there. But yeah, that's probably, and I mean, that road trip, we don't have to switch hotels either. We can stay in the same hotel. That's a bonus too. But
yeah, that's ideal.
Two great teams up there. Not a really big fan of Clarkson's rink. I find it very small, but the competition's always great up there. Yeah, if I had to pick an arena, I'd probably say St. Lawrence's arena.
Okay. Well, speaking of like traveling to different arenas and whatnot, all hockey players have road trip stories. What's one road trip that kind of stands out to you and why?
I'm glad you asked this. So each year we do like a little bit of a fun road trip. My second year we did D1 in DC. So we went to Washington, DC to play against some different teams. We got to play against the Gophers and St. Thomas. We went to Vermont last year. I don't remember where we went the year before. But my freshman year, we did the Nashville showcase, which was such a cool experience, other than the fact that we had to bus there. And as you know, Ithaca to Nashville is not very close. So we made the trip down there probably on a Wednesday, and it took like 14 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And then we played on Sunday night was our last game. Ended up one of our players got hurt and had to get sent to the emergency room. So our game got delayed because there was no ambulance there. And it was already like a 6 o'clock start. So by the time we actually got out of there, it wasn't until like 9, 10 o'clock. Had to go pick her up from the hospital. We ended up having almost a 17-hour bus ride home.
Oh boy, yep.
The night, and ended up getting back like 9 o'clock or something, and people are running to their 8 a.m. classes because they're already an hour late, and it's a Monday morning. So yeah, that was definitely one of the craziest road trips. I mean, great bonding experience now, but yeah, that was a tough one.
Yeah, it sounds like you guys are ready to get off the bus and go camping immediately.
Yeah. Everyone was just in there, whatever clothes they had on for like the last 12 hours, running to class with their duffel bags and just, yeah.
Yeah, I think the longest hockey road trip I've been on probably was Watertown to Winston-Salem in North Carolina, maybe.
Oh, wow. That's far.
Good times, though.
Yeah.
A lot of players will complain about the bus rides, but man, some of those best memories on the bus. That's awesome.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, like it sucked, but it was memories that I can talk about with any of the girls now, and we laugh about it. So
Right. So when did it kind of become clear to you that you wanted to continue to play hockey past college and play it like professionally?
I think even going into my freshman year, it was always a thought. It was never like kind of I knew exactly what was going to happen. It was always kind of like, yeah, it'd be cool to continue playing, but I was like, oh, I still have 4 years. So I was just like enjoying those 4 years. And I think as each year went on, it was kind of like, okay, well, like there's maybe this. Okay, there's maybe Sweden. Like there was always like maybe this possibility. And I think it was after my second year when Izzy Daniel got drafted, I was kind of like, okay, like there's actually something set in stone. There's something to work towards. And so I think going into my third year, now that even all my teammates kind of had the same mindset, it was like, well, we now have something to look towards and really work towards. And I think that not that people weren't motivated before to kind of win for the team and the group that they were with, but even more so motivated that they don't have 1 or 2 years or 3 years left in their hockey career. They might have 6 years, 7 years. So I think that really helped to grow the sport and really elevate the game, which I think even in college hockey, between the last 2-3 years since the PWHL has begun, college hockey has gone from one level to another. And it was so cool to see the game grow just because girls know that there's a future in the sport and it's not like it's just for fun.
Right.
So yeah, I think kind of just seeing the growth of what can happen over my 4 years and like what happens outside of school and everything and being able to switch that mindset was pretty cool.
Right. And I can't speak for Canada because I'm not there. I don't live there. I don't know much about it. But I will say, at least for like upstate New York, prior to the PWHL, it was, oh, if you're a female, you want to play college hockey, great. After college, that's that.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
occasionally they would join a men's league if they needed another skater, but
exactly. But that's
that was
not,
it.
Yeah.
So I want to talk a little bit about the draft process.
Okay.
Mostly because the PWHL is relatively new and people are just really starting to get on board with it, right?
Yeah.
So for those of us who don't know anything about being drafted, how does that process look like? Do you have to declare? Do you have to like attend camps? Can you walk us through a little bit about what you went through?
Yeah. So, well, first of all, obviously their season's on a little bit of a different timeline. So I was done in like March, and I think most of female college hockey was done by April, the latest. And obviously the PWHL goes until June-ish, maybe late May. But there was kind of that awkward period where we were all done playing, but they were still playing, and it was kind of like, okay, so when does this all kind of begin? When do teams start communicating kind of because they're still focused on their season, but meanwhile the draft is in like 2 months. So there was kind of like that weird gray area. But yeah, no, I feel like there's still a lot going on that I'm learning as I go through this process. But there's a form you have to fill out. It's open to anybody. You just kind of put your name in, if you played, where you played, your position, all that kind of stuff. And anyone's able to enter the draft. And then that's kind of when you can start communicating with teams. Teams usually will reach out to you, kind of thing. And then it's the draft. But camps and stuff don't happen till much later. As you know, the season starts at a much later date. So a lot of it right now is just kind of communicating with your team about next steps and that kind of thing. So.
Okay. Now, as far as this, I know you mentioned, putting your name in, filling out the form, then you can start communicating with teams. I know you said that the teams typically make the first move and talk to you, but let's say, we'll just use you for example. Let's just say I have no intentions on getting out of here. I want to stay near Toronto, so it's Toronto or nobody. Would you relay that information to the teams that are reaching out to you so they don't quote unquote waste a draft pick? Or
I feel like some people may. I honestly didn't really care. I just wanted to be able to continue to play hockey. I feel like the better players definitely have that lee room where if they're stuck on a point, they can go play there. But I think a lot of people were just open to the opportunity of playing. And obviously, if they want out, they can discuss that at a further date. But as far as I'm aware, you can say what you want to say. And then obviously it's up to the team's decision on what they want to do. But I think a lot of people were just happy to be in the moment and to keep playing.
Well, that's awesome. So there's no guarantee, even if you fill out this form, there's no guarantee that you get drafted, right? However, you went to the draft in Detroit.
Yes.
And what was that experience like just attending the draft itself?
Yeah, so I think there was 230 or 250 girls that entered the draft this year, which was the most ever. And obviously with 4 expansion teams, there was obviously more picks in the draft. So there were 72 picks this year, which with the list of 250 girls is not a lot. And I think I was like, it's a once in a lifetime experience. I will probably never get to go to one of these events again for myself. I may get to go to support others and other people in their journey, but I'll never be able to do this for myself in the moment. And I think that's what kind of persuaded my decision. It was like, you know what? I just want to be there. I want to be there to experience it, to say I got to go. And I'm so glad I went. Obviously, the venue was insane. They had red carpets for us to walk down, and it was all the media was lined up at the carpets taking pictures of you walking by, and it's front row in this amazing theater, such a historic theater. And overall, it was just an unreal experience.
Awesome. So you said there's over 250.
I think something along those lines.
So let's just say 250 that were there. That doesn't mean that's everyone who registered for the draft, right? So
I think there were 250-ish say that entered the draft. It was up to you if you wanted to come. So I think definitely less.
Okay.
So there might have been maybe 150 that came or something along those lines, but that was not everyone that entered their name. You don't have to attend. Yeah.
So gotcha. So just keep numbers kind of even. We may be wrong. We didn't fact check this or nothing, but
yeah.
Give or take 250 females entered for the draft. Maybe 150 showed up in Detroit.
Yeah.
And not everyone's guaranteed to get drafted. They're only taking 72.
Yeah. So it's a very nerve-wracking experience and a 5-hour experience. So it was definitely you were shaking while you were sitting in your seat.
Not that intimidating, but it almost reminded me of graduating high school, where I went to a big high school, so there's 500 plus names, and I'm in my J's. My last name's Johnson, so I'm sitting there waiting for 2 hours for my name to be called. Yeah. So it kind of reminded me of that. So let's say that you're PWHL commissioner, we'll say for a day. I know we just went through the expansion process. What are a couple other cities that you would like to see in the PWHL eventually?
That's a good question. I think obviously in this expansion this year, there was 3 American teams and 1 Canadian team, and 1 Canadian team not in a very major city. Obviously, Ontario hockey province. I think Hamilton will attract a great fan base. I think it'd be cool to see it in other major cities across Canada, like Edmonton, who the Oilers have had a lot of success of recent. Even the Calgary Flames, or even Winnipeg, would be cool to see it kind of grow throughout the other provinces. I think Vegas and San Jose were very cool additions. Like, I mean, you get to go out on the West Coast and then all that kind of stuff. And then Detroit, obviously Hockey Town. I mean,
That's right.
I feel like there's a lot of great background and reasoning behind their choices for expansion. If I got to pick, I feel like Chicago would be a cool spot, like Original Six. I feel like there's a lot of hockey background there too. Even Pittsburgh would be pretty cool. Maybe one day they can get down to Florida and maybe that will work out. But I mean, as of right now, I feel like they've been making some really good decisions of cities, and I think they're going to attract some pretty cool fan bases.
No, absolutely. I'm in Watertown, and it's kind of like a weird pocket of the country where, like, if I want to see, a high level of pro hockey, I gotta go to New York City or Buffalo or Canada. So regardless, I gotta make a trip.
So do you want like a team in Buffalo or?
I mean, that'd be cool. Wintertime is rough around here, but like, just in general, Buffalo for me is 2 hours. So then you add wintertime, we're probably looking at 2.5 or 3 because people can't drive in the wintertime. And I know that realistically, a pro team can't be in Syracuse probably. I mean, I know they got an AHL team, but if it come to PWHL or NHL, I doubt that would ever happen. But
you never know. I never thought Hamilton would have had a professional hockey team. So
that is true. That is true. I'll keep my hopes up for maybe Syracuse or who knows, maybe Ithaca. I'm just kidding. So what was it like to hear your teammate's name, Grace Dwyer, called 10th overall to Boston?
Oh, it was insane. I was so shocked and happy for her. I think she was sitting like 3 rows behind me. And so as soon as she got up, I was like, I had to go over and give her a hug. I was like, this is incredible. And I remember talking to her after, and she was kind of like, I had no idea. So it's pretty cool to just see her be able to experience that. I didn't know her going into Cornell, and over 4 years became one of my closest friends. That whole class became some of my closest friends. And I think just to be able to see her and the other 4 go up and live out their dreams is something so amazing that we all got to experience together. And we were all there to do it with each other. So I thought that was just pretty cool for everyone.
Did you guys have like assigned seating at the draft?
Yeah, so you kind of put in your information for how many tickets you wanted, and then you just waited for the tickets to come in your inbox.
So I got like I'll tell everyone a statement, and then I'll ask you the question. So these are your teammates. Grace Dwyer went 10th to Boston. Avi Adam, 24th to Montreal. McKenna Van Gelder, 52nd to San Jose. Georgia Schiff, 63rd to Detroit. And then you, 68th to Toronto. So you and 4 of your teammates were all drafted by different teams.
Yes.
What do you think it's going to be like going up against each of them professionally, all on different teams?
I mean, I couldn't believe that it was all different teams. First of all, I was like, you're all going to separate us. Like, can't keep 2 of us together. Come on. But I think it'll be so cool to know almost each and every game I'll be able to go and see one of them, hang out, catch up with them. Obviously, they're all great hockey players and great people. So to be able to not only play against them in the sport that we all love, but to be able to just see them and see how life's going in their new cities. Everyone's going to somewhere new and something they haven't really got to experience for a long period of time. So I think it's pretty great that they all get that opportunity. Plus, Ashley Messier, who transferred to Duluth, she was my D partner for 3 of my 4 years at Cornell. She also got drafted to Vancouver, which is another different team. So
okay, one more.
Exactly. So like I said, every weekend I'm going to be kind of a reunion, catching up with somebody, seeing how things are going, people that I was used to seeing for like 8 hours every day. So it's pretty exciting that I get to experience that.
Absolutely. It's really cool. And I'm sure that the PWHL really did a lot more research than I did. And they saw, hey, 4 winning seasons, we're breaking this up. We're not going to allow this to happen.
Yeah,
and any one team.
They didn't want to see what was next from us.
That's right. They didn't want all the Cornell girls back together in the PWHL.
Yeah, I guess not.
Because then you'll all be looking like the Florida Panthers.
Yeah. Who knows? Maybe give us a couple of years. Maybe we'll reunite.
Maybe. That's too funny. So overall, how did it feel to have your hometown team, the Toronto Sceptres, call your name?
I mean, it was unbelievable. I quite honestly had no idea what to expect. I didn't know what direction it was going to go. Like I said, I wanted to go for the experience. You only get to go there once for yourself, and to get to experience that, to be able to hear my name called by my hometown team was pretty unreal. To walk up that stage, and there were some pretty diehard Sceptres fans there too, celebrating, and I got to meet them afterwards, and they were actually sitting right in front of me. So it was cool to kind of share that with them as people who have been around the team since the inaugural season. And I think just to be able to kind of come into that fan base and the team was such a cool experience. And not only were my Cornell teammates there, but a lot of players I played with growing up, junior hockey, and played against were there as well. And I got to see them kind of afterwards in the hallway, and everyone was so supportive and happy for each other. So I think it was just obviously unreal to hear my name called from my hometown team, to go back to the rink I played at for almost my whole life. But it was even better just to be able to experience that with all the people there.
Right. So, I mean, I seen the video when you got drafted, and I mean, you can only tell so much from a video, but it kind of looked like you were going through all of the emotions. Like at one point, like you almost looked like speechless, but then also looked like you were crying, but it also looked like you were really excited. What was that all about? Like, what was
right on the dot. You got it right on the dot.
Okay.
I think it was a little bit of everything. I was so relieved and happy and excited just to be in that moment and to be able to experience that. And like I said, just to walk up on stage and hold that stick with the staff. It's an incredible thing. And obviously this staff is great. I know Gina and Lorian Rougeau played at Cornell, and there's Pascal's new head coach. So not only am I new, but so is he. So I feel like it's going to be a lot of building steps and learning about what the team has to offer and how I can fit in.
100%. And then I forgot to ask, when you guys were taking the photo with the hockey stick, is that just like a photo session, or do they gift you that stick for being drafted? Like, what was that?
That was just a communal stick for all the Sceptres players to take that picture with. But then for the next hour and a half after that, you have like 10 more media steps that you have to go through. So that was definitely a long process, a couple interviews, a couple more photo shoots, all worth it though. I'm so happy I got to do it, but yeah.
So, I mean, obviously like being drafted is just an honor in general, but like, since you're one of 72, was there anything at all that you were kind of gifted from the PWHL, or is that not a thing?
Yeah, there was, each drafted player got a little gift bag. There's like a water bottle, a notebook, some stickers, a little note from Jana Hefford being like, congratulations on coming into this league, and just to kind of soak it all in. So we did get like a little goodie bag, and then each team had their own little memorabilia gift, as you can see here, for each different team. So like you mentioned, Grace, her team gifted her like a new workout set, and so we got a t-shirt, like a crew neck. So each kind of team did it a little bit differently, but yes, there's definitely some gifts in the moment.
Okay, that's really cool.
Yeah.
So, first of all, I think Toronto has the best jerseys in the league.
They're pretty cool. They're pretty cool.
The blue and gold, the blue and yellow just look tough.
Yeah, plus the team I played at that rink was blue my whole life, so it's literally not only the rink but blue as well. I'm going right back to where I belong. Right.
I mean, me being from New York, I probably should root for New York, but not a big fan of the color scheme, I guess. I don't know. I'll root for them, but right now we're Toronto fans.
Okay.
Yeah, Toronto's closer to New York City anyway, so we'll go with Toronto.
Is it? Yeah.
I can't go with the Leafs, but I'll go with the Sceptres.
That's fair. I'll take that one. That's fine.
Oh goodness. So let's say that you were not selected by Toronto. Which other PWHL team would you want to select you, and why?
Like I mentioned earlier, obviously I just wanted to keep playing hockey. I think every city would have been a great spot. I grew up a Habs fan. I'm still a Habs fan, so Montreal would have been cool to be able to kind of live in that city and see Habs games. I mean, I love that team, but any of the expansion teams, I feel like it's brand new. The city's going to be so excited for all of that. And like I mentioned, San Jose, Vegas, hot, West Coast. I feel like every team, every city has a little something different to offer, and I think that's what's so cool about the league. But obviously, I'm really happy with where I am. But yeah, that's a little bit of maybe some other teams.
That's fair, because I've always had I would want to visit the West Coast, but I don't know if I'd want to live there. But
That's
then they
fair.
keep coming out with teams, San Diego, San Jose, and it's like I wouldn't mind living on a beach. Sounds
Yeah,
nice.
no, neither would I.
All right, let's say you're speaking directly to Toronto fans right now. What would you want to say to them in regards to this upcoming season?
I'm super stoked, and I can't wait to kind of get in a training camp, meet all the girls, meet the coaching staff, and see kind of what the culture and the environment is like. Obviously, I'm a diehard hockey player and fan, and I love playing the game as much as I can. But change is always something new and different, and I can't wait to see not just on the ice how that looks, but the culture of the locker room, all the people involved, the staff involved. I can't wait to meet everyone, and I'm so excited to live up to the Toronto hockey standards and hopefully bring a cup home.
That kind of leads me to my second question here. My next question, I should say. A lot of questions for you, obviously. But
Okay.
what will Alyssa bring to the team?
Yeah, so I'm a defenseman. I like to contribute in both areas of the ice. Obviously, take care of the defensive side of things first and try to not let the other team score. But I'm not afraid to get involved in the offense and help score a goal or get a good assist when needed. So definitely, you'll see me in all areas of the ice, diving in front of a shot late in the game to block it. I'll do whatever it takes to make sure we can win.
Love that. And I'm sure Toronto fans would love to hear that as well. So I know we were talking about it off air a little bit, but I have a 3-year-old daughter right now, and I have another daughter that will be here on Thursday via C-section. So, my daughter loves sports in general, I guess, but she loves hockey. Even though she's young right now, what advice would you give her now to kind of grow up with?
Just take things one step at a time. Like you said, we talked about it. Step one, start skating. See if you like skating. See if you like that. Maybe hockey's not for you. Just give everything a shot. I think growing up, especially with school sports, it wasn't as competitive, but I still took the opportunity to try different things. I played basketball, I played volleyball, I did track and field. Ended up growing a love for the throwing events in track, which I never thought I would have. But definitely give everything a shot. Don't rule anything out, obviously, because at some point in your life, if you decide to go through with the sport, that's it. You just got to kind of stick with that. So give everything a shot and give it a chance. But yeah, if hockey's the way to go, start with skating, see how that goes, see how you like it. Take your time, make sure it's something that you want to do, and then eventually grab that stick. You don't have to get all the equipment just yet. Grab a stick and a little rubber puck or a ball or something, and just push it around a little bit. And like you said, watch the game, be involved with the game. You don't have to directly play it, but enjoy the fan base and the culture around the league and the sport, and have a favorite player, and just be involved with the game, even if you're not like the best at it or you're still learning about it. Definitely try to stay involved as much as you can, and eventually, who knows, one day you might wake up and be like, today's the day. I'm a hockey player. Like, I want to be a hockey player. And so I think just taking it one step at a time and enjoying all the moments.
Right. No, I love that. And my daughter, she doesn't have the I won't say the skill set yet, but she doesn't have the coordination
She's
quite
got
yet.
lots of time.
Yeah, exactly. Coordination wise, soccer was not the move, but we tried t-ball this year and
Oh, there
she
you go.
thrived.
Oh,
Um,
good. See?
Not just saying this, I'm a little biased, but I will say, out of all, we had a 7-player team, and she was probably most improved. She hits
There
the
you go.
ball excellent now. She even in her
One step
backyard.
at a time.
Season's over, she's still playing out here.
Good. One step at a time. There you go.
So I think softball may be her thing, but she always has the hockey stick run around the house, so that excites her.
That's awesome.
Let me see here. I wrote a couple down so I didn't forget. Sometimes, usually it's off the dome, but a lot of times I have to write things down because I'm getting old and my memory is fading. So I know we talked about getting drafted, being in the top 72 out of however many, 250. How does it feel to be in that top percentage of women hockey players to be drafted? Like you said, it doesn't happen for everyone, so it's a
Yeah.
huge deal for those that do.
Yeah, I think it's a very cool experience. Obviously, we had a pretty heavy skilled draft class this year. So to be kind of included in a part of that is really something special. But although there was so many players undrafted, I think that makes training camp even that much more important, that even though you weren't drafted, you can still go to a training camp. And I think those players are going to be hungry to prove that they have something to show. And I think that's going to make those camps that much more competitive, especially for current players fighting for spots and all that kind of stuff. And I think that's what makes the game so much fun, is that there's always a different obstacle around the corner and you're always fighting for something and nothing's ever set in stone. So obviously it's really cool to be a part of that group, to be able to say I was drafted into this league, but the job's not done and you just got to keep working towards it.
Absolutely. We are running low on time, so I just got a couple more questions here for you, and then we'll wrap it up. I know we kind of alluded to it before, but I'll kind of rephrase it and then ask you. In the USA alone, pro hockey, men have 2 leagues in single A, 1 league in double A, 1 league in triple A, and then obviously the show. So 5 pro leagues in the USA, while females have 1. With that being said, do you think down the road women will have more pro leagues rather than just the show? Do you think that single A, double A, triple A could be in the works?
Yeah, I think obviously expansion has been great and it's been so cool to see the league grow across North America. But I do think the next step is definitely kind of that development step. Yeah, in where, okay, you weren't drafted, but maybe you can still get signed by a team and work up through a farm program, through an A-level program, that you can hopefully one day make it up to the top league and be able to play at that level. But I do think kind of that farm program is the next step. And I don't even think there needs to be something new put into place. I feel like there's so much girls hockey now that you can almost turn and transform things into that kind of variation. There's so many local girls teams almost everywhere you go across Canada and the United States, that I think if you were to implement something within that or turn something into, okay, we have like 5 players that want to develop through this team, I think there's definitely an opportunity for that, especially if the league continues to grow.
Right. Love that. And, we've been talking about, females in hockey, as we should. But what piece or what pieces of advice do you have for young hockey players in general, whether you be male or female?
Yeah, I think it was kind of like I said about your daughter, but definitely enjoy everything. Enjoy all the small steps. Take your time to learn the process. It's not going to happen overnight. And I think I found that with trying new sports even today at 22. But enjoy it all. Enjoy the little things. I know everyone, it's such a cliche, but really do. Like, I miss those tournaments that you'd play when you were 10 and you'd all stay in the same hotel and you'd have like joining doors and all that kind of stuff. You think it's so small in the moment, but you look back at it and you wish you could do it again. So I think take your time, enjoy all the little things. You're not going to be the best thing ever overnight. So enjoy the process of how you get there. Take the time to excel at things. I'm still working on skills today. Nothing's ever perfect. And make sure you try new things. Like I said, I've been trying some new things out and trying to develop different skills, but play a different sport, go hiking, see some different things, try something, because eventually one day you're going to be like, man, I really enjoyed doing that. Like, I want to do that more. But you don't know if you stick to one thing. So make sure to experience everything while you can before you actually have to dial in and pick on something.
Yeah, go on a camping trip in the hills of Ithaca.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, it is a cool experience, so.
Wicked. So that'll pretty much do it for us. One final question for you. Closing remarks here. What do you have to say to whether it be Benchminer followers or young hockey players or Toronto Sceptres fans? Any closing remarks?
Yeah, I mean, hockey's obviously a big sport across North America and it continues to grow and grow. And I think if you ever get the chance, if you don't play hockey or you're a diehard hockey fan and player, give it a chance. Learn the game, watch the game, play the game. Like I said, you don't have to be the best player, but it's definitely such an amazing game and experience. And it brings you to such amazing people and opportunities. And to Benchminer fans that get to watch and listen into this, definitely follow along with the program. Tune into the PWHL and future Benchminer podcasts, as maybe one day there'll be more PWHL stars that get to join this call, and you get to learn about different teams and programs. But the PWHL is a league that's going to continue to grow and expand, and there's a lot of great young players up and coming in the league, and I think you should all give it the opportunity and check out a game next year.
100%. Well, again, I appreciate the conversation. I love chatting with you. This is fun. Super excited for the PWHL season to begin. I will absolutely root for your Toronto Sceptres. Who knows? Might have to make a trip up there. Since
let me know.
I can't go anywhere else because I'm so far from everybody, so I got to travel regardless. So
yeah.
For those that haven't already, if you're watching this, be sure to like, subscribe. Don't want to miss this next episode. If you guys know who the Danbury Trashers are, and if you've seen the Netflix series, then you know AJ Galante. He's going to be on our show in 2 weeks. I did take the next 2 weeks off just because my daughter will be born this Thursday. So I'm looking at my calendar. It's up there. Sorry, guys. August 10th, AJ Galante will join the show. So you don't want to miss that one. Like, subscribe, and tune in that Monday, August 10th. Again, Alyssa, thank you so much. Hope you have a great night, and we will see you all soon.